somebody who is well established in this rap game. 49 years old. Nas dropping King's Disease 3. Dave, how does he do it? How does he fucking do it?
Album 16, baby. Let's
How?
go.
Like he sounds like he did like 20 years ago somehow. It's
I know.
crazy.
I mean, specifically, this Nas run is incredible. This is the fourth Nas album since 2020. The Three Kings Diseases, as well as the surprise album Magic, which came out on Christmas Eve 2021, which we didn't actually review because it's a terrible time to put out new music. But this run of Nas making 4 albums in a row with Hit Boy on the beats, like Nas just feels so refreshed and energized and as good as ever. Definitely as good as you can expect a OG rapper to sound. And I feel like we've been saying that a lot lately with the love we had for the Black Thought and Danger Mouse album. But Nas, I mean, I think really bringing it, and oh my god, I think like this run from Nas, these 4 albums in 2 years or 3 years, even makes the Kanye mishap with Nasir sound even worse in retrospect because of how much Nas still had in the tank.
Yeah.
And what a producer that was actually in sync with him pulled off in Hit Boy, Anyway, not to talk about that. Nas sounds great on King's Disease 3. Do you think this is a trilogy capper? You think he's gonna go with some new titles now? Because he's clearly not slowing down. He's gonna drop more shit.
Yeah, I was reading a few articles about it, and I saw someone like mention like, "Oh, this is a great cap to a trilogy," and I was like, I don't see why he would stop. Like if this is like a perspective that really inspires him, why not just keep going with it? It's hard to say, I think. But I was just digging this whole thing from front to back. I thought there wasn't really like a song I disliked on it. Maybe a few that sounded less in my zone than others, but man, that beginning from Ghetto Reporter through Michael and Quincy, I thought was just absolute fire. Just like completely
straight heat.
4 for 4.
Yep, I totally agree. I love on Ghetto Reporter too. He kind of brings up the idea of like the King's Disease. He's like, yeah, we all get it eventually. However he puts it, and it's like, it's a good concept. Like Nas really sounds like at home in this kind of like elder statesman vibe, just kind of waxing poetic about stuff. And it really makes for good moments when he like on towards the end on First Time he's reflecting on like his beginnings and then like other people's like relationships with him or with other artists and stuff. Like it's actually like it's a cool way to approach just like his lyricism, but yeah, I agree. Ghetto Reporter legit, Thun and Michael and Quincy, just a lot of heat there. And like the Hit Boy beats are always very lively on these albums, and it just really sounds right at home on them. Michael and Quincy, I love the line, gang members got nothing on these congressmen, classic stuff right there. But yeah, I mean, like the flow's good almost throughout. I thought Recession Proof was probably my favorite flow from Nas, but honestly, like it's tough to like find like negatives to me across this whole album run. I kind of wish in hindsight we had talked about Magic specifically, because I thought that's actually like the best of these albums. Like that was like such a surprise, but like Nas was, I think, probably at his hardest of this run on Magic. This King's Disease 3 feels more in line with the other two King's Diseases, most specifically, but not that that's a demerit at all. Like again, like there's just so much good shit on this.
I completely agree, and I think he's able to really span a lot of like different like themes on this. One of the songs that I don't think I'd go back to the most, but I was probably most impressed by was Reminisce. He's a little more serious, a little more reflective about his life, people lost, where he's at in the moment, trying to be present with things. And I just was really like, man, he's really like in his bag on this, like able to be thoughtful. I loved one of the first songs. I can't remember which one because I was listening to it in the car and wasn't able to write it down. But he starts just going through how he's from Queens and then talking about all the different neighborhoods, Brooklyn, Bronx, all of it. And I was just loving that. He does that so seamlessly and makes such funny observations with it, but just kind of like glides over it really well.
He's so authentic at the end of the day. Obviously,
you can feel that he's just like he's a Queens guy through and through. Then you get the the bonus track, which uses that song that was the walkout for the closer, right, for Edwin Diaz.
Oh fuck, I didn't even catch that. Yeah, trumpet song,
Yeah,
whatever
the
it's called.
trumpet song. I don't know what
Yeah,
it is, but he was definitely using that
Timmy
for
trumpet,
that
something
beat,
like that.
and fucking awesome. Like I was like, yeah, this is how you know he's a Queens guy right here.
Right.
Totally
Yeah,
with
that's a
it.
good point.
So
Yeah.
good shit all around. I mean, he's just ageless, man. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think this has been a more common talking point the last few years, but hip hop hadn't had lots and lots of old heads reach 50, you know,
Hmm.
due to the relative newness of hip hop as a genre of music. But now we're getting to that point where we're hearing people go longer and longer, past what we previously had talked about as like the expiration date for rappers, right? And Black Thought and Nas and Jay-Z, yeah, they're not as good as they used to be, but we're hearing more and more artists still really bring it at these older ages. Killer Mike, of course, comes to mind as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, great for Nas. Obviously, he got his first Grammy win with King's Disease One. Got nominated again with King's Disease Two. I'd imagine King's Disease Three will probably find him right back up there for best rap album, and it really is well deserved because it's really hard to pick any holes in this one.